Welcome to Kauffman Stadium for the final game of the I-70 series between the St. Louis Cardinals and the Kansas City Royals. Hi, everybody. I'm Steve Physiak. This is Rex Hudler, and the Royals ran into the Cardinals at the wrong time. Their offense is on fire. They're hitting .407 in the first two games of this series and 16 for 32 with men in scoring position. So Jonathan Sanchez has to be on his game.
Good pitching outdoes good hitting, and we'll have to make sure that happens today if they want to win this final game here. Throw fastballs and use them for strikes. Now, don't give up on that pitch either. Dave Iden would like to see him continue to use the fastball, bring in his secondary pitches. Forget about the running game. He made 2 errant throws in his last start over there. Let Salvador Perez take care of that and stay hot versus St. Louis. He's 3-0 in his career. Why not make it 4 here on a special day?
Salvi will be back in the lineup, but the Royals offense averaging just 3.3 runs per game in the month of June. That must change. Royals baseball is brought to you by the Missouri Lottery. When you play, students win. And by your Kansas City Chevy dealers, the official vehicle of the Kansas City Royals. When we come back, Joel and Monty will talk the St. Louis starting pitcher.
Lance Lynn on the hill for the St. Louis Cardinals today, and he certainly has been one of the better stories in baseball this season. Welcome back to Kauffman Stadium. Joel Goldberg, Royals Hall of Famer Jeff Montgomery up at Rivals. What will the Royals see from Lance Lynn on the mound?
Well, Joel, Lance Lynn has been a very good find for the St. Louis Cardinals. In his second year with the Cardinals, he's really established himself as one of the top pitchers in the National League. Here we're going to see him climbing the ladder. He'll get the fastball up in the mid-90s when he climbs the ladder, but he's really a four-pitch guy. Great fastball, sinks the fastball really well, nice slider, and a refined curveball. But oftentimes, the only way to get to him is when you look for that slider, he will hang it. If you hang it, you can get to him. So look for him to keep the ball down. When you get to it, got to be the hanger.
Tied for second in the major leagues with 10 wins. Detroit did get to him last time. The Royals will try to do that next. Coming up, Steve and Rex at the call.
By Time Warner Cable, the official TV, internet, and home phone provider of the Kansas City Royals. And we're wrapping up the pregame festivities. Billy Butler, as the kids make their way on the field and they stand there for the national anthem that is played here at Kauffman Stadium, and Billy Butler will be at first base this afternoon. The kids running in. Welcome back to Kauffman Stadium, where the St. Louis offense has been as hot as today's weather. The Cardinals with 19 runs and 33 hits the first two games of this series. And the first five hitters you see for call, Craig, Holiday, Beltran, and Freese, have 21 of those 33 hits. Yadier Molina will be followed by Carpenter, and then Robinson and Descalso.
That's a solid lineup. Yadier had the day off yesterday, and now he's back in there, man. I'll tell you, it's going to make it tough for Jonathan Sanchez. Sanchez, He's got 36 and a third innings thrown this season, 28 walks. A little bit high. He's always had a high walk ratio, but he's going to have to get in that strike zone. Uses 4 pitches, fastball. He's going to sink it, run it a little bit, 4 seamers up, slider, curve, and changeup. Try to get some early count outs and stay in the game long, because he normally is a high pitch count guy early in the game.
As you can tell, this will be his 5th start versus St. Louis. He brings in a 3-0 mark and a 2.78 earned run average, but has never gone more than 5 1/3 innings against this St. Louis offense. Let's take a look at the Ford around the horn defense.
Okay, there those guys are now. Look, the way them Redbirds have been hitting that ball in the first 2 games, they better be on their horse in that outfield. But Billy Butler, he's getting a start at first base against the right-handed pitcher today. Hosmer's going to take a little mental break, and it's good to see Billy out there. He loves playing first base. It really gives me a nice little break. I don't have to sit in there and wait for my at-bats. I can be on both sides of the ball, and he's looking to make a play, he said. I mean, maybe a few plays.
Jonathan Sanchez on the hill. His first pitch of the game almost hits Rafael Furcal in the leg. Furcal having a terrific road trip in Detroit and now in Kansas City. 7 for 15 in the road trip to raise that batting average to 293, and another one comes tight, and it's 2-0.
That he has hit 5 batters this year, and he has been a little bit erratic, but those first 2 pitches were nowhere near the strike zone.
He is 1-3 in 8 outings this season, posting a 5.7 ERA. Now he finds the strike zone at 89 miles an hour. Sanchez in his first year with Kansas City after being acquired last November from San Francisco, along with left-hander Ryan Verdugo, and a nice play by Alcides Escobar. 1 out. Our time and temperature is brought to you by the parking spot. Sizzling 96 degrees. First pitch 112.
Well, it's not a wonder at all that these guys didn't take batting practice on the field today. They all hit indoors, and it could get over 100 degrees before this one's over. But go ahead, fellas, and enjoy the day. And it's mind over matter. If you don't mind, it don't matter about the heat.
This is Alan Craig. He had a home run and a single yesterday that ended a 1 for 15 slide he had been in. He has been nagged by a left hamstring problem.
Tell you though, the one thing, another good number that the Cardinals have had this year is against left-handed starters. They're 11-8 against them. 278 average against lefties. They've got almost every guy in their lineup has home runs off lefties, so they've feasted off of them. Sanchez has some good movement to his pitches, though, and he's not exactly easy to square up. He's just given up 3 home runs, 2 to righties and 1 to a lefty.
Sanchez has had a chance to watch this St. Louis offense in the first 2 games. They beat Kansas City 11-4 on Friday when they scored 10 runs in the first 2 innings of the game, and won yesterday 8-2. Royals starting pitching has not fared well. The 2 starters, Mazzaro and Mendoza, gave up 11 runs in just 5 2/3 innings. Mazzaro only lasted 1 1/3. Ooh, that was a good breaking ball, missed somewhere, and the count is now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, this is a pitch he'll use effectively, especially second time through the order. Dave Eichmann would like for him in the first to go out and establish the fastball best he can.
The home plate umpire is Joe West, and he did not give that call with the breaking ball down the middle, and certainly would not give that one when it was wide. First base umpire is Sam Holbrook. Mike Easterbrook is at second base, and Rob Drake is at third. Craig listed foul territory. That will get back and out of play.
Joe West, home plate umpire, 35th season umpiring he's in. And Joe, I didn't really recognize him out there because he's lost 50 pounds. He looks really good. He says he's playing a lot of golf and staying in shape and trying to keep the pressure off of those knees and that lower back. These guys have trouble with standing all day doing umpiring baseball games.
Sanchez came with the fastball, and it is fouled straight back, so the count will stay at 3-2. He's thrown 12 pitches to open this ball game. Got for call on a ground out.
Alan Craig's hitting 400 off of lefties. That's with 35 at bats.
Center field. It gets by Dyson. Gordon backs up, but Craig is into second base with a double.
We saw John Jay of the Cardinals misplay a ball in center yesterday by misjudging it, and this is the same here. Now, this is a ball in, very difficult for a center fielder to come in not knowing how hard it's hit, so he didn't get a great break on it, but once he left his feet, he failed to keep the ball in front of him. That's what you want to do if you're going to leave your feet. Hopped over his glove, and Gordon was there to keep him at least two with one out here.
And because he did not touch it, they give him a double. The batter is Matt Holliday, and he is absolutely torn apart Royal pitching. This season batting .591 against Kansas City with 2 home runs and 8 RBIs. And he is the subject of our Toyota League leaders. Matt Holliday with that .591 average. That is #1 overall. Chris Davis hitting .526 for Baltimore. And Josh Willingham .467. Strike in there. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Holliday's a .343 hitter with 4 homers against lefties. 4 out of his 12 big flies. Strong guy, but we saw him just take what they give him yesterday. Flared a couple balls to right field, just trying to get base hits.
7 hits in the series in 10 at bats.
It's a pretty good series.
4 yesterday, 3 singles and a double. St. Louis leads the interleague series with Kansas City 41-30 overall, and they are 21-8 since 2003 in this ballpark.
Early count out's important for Sanchez. Looks like that pitch was good. Good location, hit both guys behind the plate in the mask.
Good to see Salvi Perez back and healthy. Played his first game on Friday and had 2 hits, including a home run. His defense is always rock solid, and the pitch wanders outside. The count is full. Second straight batter. The count has been full with Sanchez against the Cardinals. Walked him. It's almost as if you have to pick your poison with the St. Louis Cardinals, but because every single one of them is hot in this series, including Carlos Beltran, who has 4 hits and 5 RBIs in the first 2 games. And there's Dave Island, Kansas City pitching coach.
Yep, and the next pitch will be Sanchez's 20th here with just 1 out. So we've seen this a lot this year, just a high pitch count early. You'd love it if he could keep something down on Beltran, for sure, so he could entice him into hitting into his 6th double play.
And St. Louis has hit into more double plays than any other National League team, 63. Royals got him 3 times yesterday, but surrounding that were 16 hits. Went after him upstairs, 0-2.
There's the splits on this guy, switch hitter. Going to see a lot more right-handed pitchers. That's why he's got bigger numbers from the left-handed side of the box.
He is naturally a right-handed hitter. Began switch hitting in the Kansas City organization, and he hits one high in the air and deep to left. Gordon is back, and that's a 3-run home run for St. Louis.
61st home run at Kauffman Stadium for Beltran. And Salvador Perez, he came up out of his crouch. He wanted Sanchez to waste a high fastball, but obviously he didn't give it enough. Look at Salvi sitting there. That was belt high. It was not high enough. And when you throw a fastball belt high to a hot hitter, he's gonna do some damage with that. And that's exactly what he did. Puts an easy swing on it. Once again, the Royals offense is going to have to start playing a little catch up.
St. Louis jumped on Kansas City for 4 runs in the first inning on Friday. Luis Mendoza shut them out in the first inning yesterday, and actually it was just a 1-0 ball game going to the 5th yesterday before the Cardinals got to Mendoza and knocked him out. But Sanchez has all kinds of difficulty controlling counts and throwing the ball where he wants to. He tossed a season high 6 innings on Monday at Houston, but he allowed 4 runs, 3 earned on 6 hits, 4 walks, and he also hit 2 batters and threw 2 errors on pickoff plays to first base. So it really was not a quality start.
Nah, he has a hard time throwing to first base a ball they can catch, let alone throw strikes. It's really disappointing.
On his hands, 3-2 to David Freese. Freese walks, second walk by Sanchez, and this has been a real challenge for Kansas City after they pitched so well in the month of June and were getting very good starts, particularly from Chen and Hochevar and earlier Paulino. But as soon as the news on Felipe Paulino was released that he was out for the season and likely Tommy John surgery, Rex, the starters have not thrown well.
Well, they're going to have to start throwing well for their team and their jobs. This is not a good situation here. They had been doing really well, winning on the road, like is well noted. But Dave Island having to make a trip to the mound with 28 pitches expended, 3-0 already here. The Cardinals looking for a sweep. It's just not pretty right now this inning.
This is a very patient Cardinal team. They already have 22 walks in 5 games on this road trip. And part of the challenge with that, Sanchez is a guy you can be patient with because he averages almost 7 walks per 9 innings this season. Not a good combination. Sanchez going against a patient Cardinal offense.
Next pitch will be his 30th, and I'm sure that Ned's sitting over there saying, you know what, I'm not getting anybody up.
And that was the way it was on Monday because Sanchez was in and out of trouble throughout that Houston game. But Ned Yost left him out there. That ball popped up to the right side. Francoeur comes on, and Jeff will make the catch for out number 2. He threw 106 pitches in 6 innings against the Houston Astros, and we kept on looking down to that Royal bullpen, and Ned Yost said, no, Jonathan, we used our bullpen a lot in 15 innings on Sunday. You have to figure it out. Right now he's on his own in this one. Matt Carpenter the batter, and he takes strike 1. Sanchez has had success in his past. 4.26 career ERA coming into this season. Granted, he had 2 injuries last year, missed 5 weeks because of biceps tendonitis in the final 6 weeks with a high ankle sprain, but healthy this year until he suffered another bout with biceps tendonitis and missed 31 games.
You know, he always been a pitcher that's been effectively wild. In his best days with the San Francisco Giants in 09, 10, and 11, you know, he had 88, 96, and 66 walks. So he's a guy that's, you know, never has really had total command of the strike zone. although he did one game.
The no-hitter in San Francisco, and here's Gordon angling his body so he can read that baseball and stay away from the sun shining in his face. A rough first inning for another KC starter. Game is on the American Forces Network, watched by United States military in 175 countries and ships at sea. And also listening today, Morgan and Anna Christian, watching in Munich, Germany.
Okay, guys, I wonder who are the Cardinal fans out there and who are the Royals fans. I know the Royals fans haven't had a whole lot to cheer about in this particular series, but they did last weekend. But maybe they'll get something going here early.
Gordon, Falou, Moustakas, Butler, Francoeur, Pena, Perez, Dyson, and Escobar. A notable absence is Eric Hosmer, who was spending time in the batting cages with Kevin Seitzer before the game, the Royals hitting instructor. And there is Lance Lynn, 25-year-old right-hander from Marion County, Indiana.
All right, keep him on the ropes. This guy, he gives up a higher average early time, first time through. Second and third time, he's a little more stingy. Fastball, mid to low 90s. He's got pretty good hop on that four-seam fastball upstairs. And try to get him early if you can. And just like the Cardinals have been getting the Royals early. Good fastball. Is that slider, changeup? He's got some pitches that he'll use effectively, although he's a very imposing guy at 6'5", 260 pounds. He's going to sink his two-seamer a little bit as well. So four-seam, two-seamers, keeps guys off balance.
Gordon has 3 hits in the series. And he sends that one back up the middle. That will find center field, so make it 4 hits in the series for Alex Gordon.
Well, that's exactly what the Royals are going to have to do in this final game here. They're going to have to meet the ball. I mean, put it in play and find some holes. Shane Robinson's a good center fielder out there, but I'll tell you, Matt Carpenter's been an unsung hero. Love Daniel Descalzo. That guy is a very scrappy, hard ball player. He gets his second start of this series.
Gordon at first base. And it's great to see one of our favorite people back with the team on the major league level. Irving Falou, one of the great guys. He has spent his entire career in the Royals system, most of it in the minor leagues until this season, where he made his major league debut. And in his first at bat, he had a triple off Phil Hughes back on May 6th.
Yeah, good to see him back. He didn't do anything wrong to be demoted. It was a numbers thing, and he had to go and back. And when he went down there, he raked. He hit the ball well. He had some extra base hits. He's a major league player, just biding his time, waiting for a roster to open up somewhere. I mean, hopefully he stays in a Royals uniform, but for this guy, 9 straight years in the minors, he's ready. Good switch hitter, both sides of the plate, level swing.
Gordon goes, the pitch taken, throw to second base in time. Yadier Molina.
Yep, one of the best in the business. Thought maybe Falou might swing the bat, at least try to protect him a little bit there. But, you know, Yadi's so quick with his hands. A very good defensive catcher, and his offense is growing into his catching ability. He's just an all-around tremendous ball player. He's learned a lot from his two brothers, older brothers, Jose Molina for the Rays. It'll be coming in here next series. And retired Benji Molina. Benji was more of an offensive catcher. Jose was the defensive catcher. And Yadi, he's got both.
A walk to Falou. So Irving moves to first base. The batter will be Mike Moustakas, who moves back to the 3 spot today because of the slump that Eric Hosmer has been in, and this will allow him to get some protection with Billy Butler hitting behind him.
They've been pitching Moose in. They've been trying to take advantage of the fact that he is a pull hitter, but when you come pitch him inside 2 or 3 inches, that's you know, too far inside. He's been breaking some bats and pulling some foul.
There it is. Again, they come inside for a strike.
And they'll keep doing that until the hitter shows some adjustments. Once you start adjusting, maybe opening up and get him out of that kitchen, then they'll try to get you out of the way. It's just the way this game revolves. Every game's heavily scouted by the next team that's going to play you.
Strike 2 to Moose. Lance Lynn is a strikeout pitcher. As a matter of fact, he is ranked high in a lot of National League categories, tied for second in the major leagues with 10 wins, 13th in the National League, an opposing batting average of .223, has 90 strikeouts in 86 2/3 innings. Pounded him inside and misses. He is 6th in strikeouts per 9 innings, Rex, at 9.35 per 9.
Well, pitching behind this offense of his, I mean, it's got to be good. How many runs of support does this guy get?
Almost 7. That's number 1 in the National League.
My goodness.
So when you're young and you're getting 7 runs per game,
you got a nice record.
Fouled off. And you can pitch with some comfort and some confidence.
Especially in the first inning, after they supply you 3 of those 7 early. And hopefully the Royals pitching won't give up any more.
Lance was St. Louis's supplemental first-round pick in 2008 out of the University of Mississippi. And he was a great pitcher for Ole Miss. Still holds their career and single-season strikeout records. Fouled off. And I think, Rex, their daughter, Mia Jane, is going to be a pretty good athlete because Lance chose well. His wife, Lauren, was an All-American softball player at Ole Miss as well. So pretty good genes for Mia Jane.
Pretty good opportunity there. She's surrounded by the large softball and the small baseball. See if Moose can find something he likes.
Way outside. Count is even, 2-2.
So Lynn's quick home too. He's got a slide step. That makes it easier for Yadier to throw out runners. And we already showed that early as Gordon tried to get him a bag and got nailed.
Rex, will he go more with the 4-seamer over the 2-seamer?
Well, it depends on what the count is. 2-2, 2 strikes. He's going to come upstairs and try to blow guys away with that elevated fastball, kind of like Sanchez wanted to do against Beltran, but it wasn't high enough. Beltran made him pay with his 20th homer of the year.
Moose hits it well to right field, but it is hooking and going foul.
Okay, there's that fastball inside. Moose says, all right, I'm going to get you out of there. That's what I'm talking about. Making an adjustment. He was ready. He was quick. Just a little too quick. Once Moustakas gets some experience and he gets a couple 2 or 3 years under his belt, he'll learn how to keep that ball fair by keeping his hands inside the baseball through it and barreling it up, and it doesn't hook foul down the line. It just comes with experience. Some guys get it earlier than others.
Moose hits this one deep to right. This one will not be a foul ball. It is gone, and a home run for the Royals.
There's some adjusting. Keep pounding that fastball in there. Moose says, all right, come to Papa. Go ahead, barrel that one. 11th ding-dong with a runner on. Too bad Gordon got thrown out, or that would have been a 3-run nanny. That's a beauty. Short, quick swing. Let Lance Lynn provide the pop with his fastball.
Hopefully that's a sign of something more to come, because the Royals before that home run had scored just 66 runs in 20 June games. That's 3.3 per game. Here's Billy Butler, and Billy hits one sharply, but right at the second baseman Daniel Descalso, who has to leap and make the catch. So 2 out.
Billy knows better than that. That guy's been playing there over 100 years. Come on, Billy, look at all that area he had to his right and left. He hits it right at him.
You know, he did the same thing yesterday in a big at bat in inning number 4, when he lined out to the center fielder John Jay.
You know, that was a little slider, and he hit that ball exactly like you want to hit it.
Here is Jeff Francoeur. Jeff trying to break out of a little slump. He is 0 for his last 15. Popped up, foul territory. Matt Carpenter makes the catch. But Mike Moustakas starts the comeback by blasting home run number 11 this year. Deep to right field. It's a 3-2 ball game. Jonathan Sanchez hoping for a better second inning after a rough first when he gave up a 3-run home run to Carlos Beltran. Mike Moustakas gave him a start and a nice comeback with a 2-run smash of his own in the first. And now he's facing Shane Robinson, Daniel Descalso, and Rafael Percal.
Well, maybe it'll be like a prize fight today by both offenses. See who can punch out who. With the home runs flying out of the ballpark. Wind was swirling early, but now it's very calm.
Strike one. It's a 2-1 count now to Shane Robinson. This is his 24th start of the season. He's been their main pinch hitter this year, leading the club with 6 pinch hits.
And you know, Sanchez, he can tell himself this is a new game, new start. Let's go. He raced the first inning, and let's keep our team in the game here and get some early count outs. Get back in that dugout, keep the momentum on the Royal side. Guy like Robinson is not going to really hurt you. Just challenge him. Go after him.
He tried to, but missed badly inside. So the third walk thrown by Sanchez in this game, and he has to be able to at least control the bottom of the order, as hot as the first 5-6 guys have been. The number 9 batter is Daniel Descalso. He has 2 hits in this series.
Wouldn't surprise me to see Descalso drop a bunt down. He's a very good technician, does the little things well.
Moustakas playing him as if he's expecting it, because he's creeping in at third base.
But then again, Matheny sees how wild and erratic Sanchez is. His pitches aren't very close to the zone. He might just say, hey, let's just see if he'll walk the park here.
And Dave Island is all about commanding the fastball, but of the 3 pitches that Sanchez has, that is the pitch he has the least control of.
It's good to see him take a little something off of the throw to first base with Butler. Just kind of, you know, to just try to get in the vicinity.
Strike on the outside corner evens the count at 1-1.
Robinson just has 1 stolen base.
Scouts have seen Jonathan Sanchez be a dominant performer in his past. In the year that San Francisco won the World Series in 2010, he was as responsible as any of their great starting pitchers to get the Giants that World Championship. He had a 2.61 ERA after the All-Star break, including 1.04 his last 7 starts. That ball is struck to left field. Gordon has it played at the foul line for out number 1. Fans, the Royals, Fox Sports, and the state of Missouri are teaming up to help you stop smoking now. The state of Missouri Tobacco Quit Line. Call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. 1 out for Rafael Furcal. He grounded out to short his first time up. He not only has 3 hits in this series, but 4 walks and 4 runs scored.
No, Furcal, a very patient hitter, and at this time in his career, he's a veteran now. He knows the strike zone. .318 hitter versus left-handers this year, and 3 of his 5 homers come from the right side of the plate, so he's got a little more pop.
Rex, I would imagine Mike Matheny and his coaches took a look at the last video of Jonathan Sanchez's game against the Houston Astros and said, even if Shane Robinson gets a one-way lead, just to get in Sanchez's mind and draw some throws, he could have success and also get that wide pitches to home plate.
Yeah, you know, teams, your opponents are looking to beat you any way they can. There's no sympathy cards being sent out anywhere to teams that have been getting beat. And so, look, Sanchez is better off just letting Salvador Perez take care of the running game. And you mentioned a one-way lead. That is a lead as
far as you can get off and get back safely without the attempt to go.
Sanchez brings it home, misses. 2 balls, no strikes to Furcal. Well, he had Furcal reaching for that one. And it was a fastball at 89 miles an hour, but it almost seemed like Rafi his timing was upset.
Well, you know, it's important he mixes them now. You know, back when we were talking about his Giant days, he had about 4 more miles per hour on his fastball. Okay, he could blow it by guys, but at this particular stage, he's pitching more to contact, and he's learning that sometimes less is better. Just get the outs, try to work in that little 2-seamer, and then mix in the 4-seamer upstairs. Kind of like Bruce Chin does.
That fastball was about belt high down the middle, and Furcal swung over the top.
If you try to do too much with it, swing hard, sometimes it pulls your head off.
Back our way that time. Shane Robinson thought that Sanchez was going to go to first base.
Sanchez will get a few guys that take off on first movement. When he throws over, then it's up to Billy Butler to throw a strike to Escobar.
Three balls and 2 strikes. Dave Island says that Sanchez has a sneaky fastball, and he says even when you play catch with him, the ball seems to have late life. It jumps at you at the end. That's why he gets a lot of foul balls struck off of his pitches.
50 pitches already.
Foul. They were sending Robinson that time. So he's on pace for about a 400 pitch game.
Well, I don't know if their pitch counter goes that high.
Good point.
On one starter, one guy, but 3-2. Robinson's going on the pitch.
Again, Furcal reaching for it, and this is a long duel between the Cardinal leadoff hitter and Jonathan Sanchez. Last 2 days, St. Louis is hitting over 400 against Kansas City pitching. How about that? Sanchez was able to blow that fastball by him, and that's a big strikeout here in inning number 2.
Yeah, it is. So he stayed with the fastball, and he's able to put it where he wants it on the outer half. You could tell that Furcal was trying to pull everything. 3-2. Furcal knew a fastball was coming. Good out.
Now Alan Craig, and he had a key double in the first inning. It was a sinking flare into center field, misplayed by Gerard Dyson, skipped over his head and went for a 2-base hit. Holiday walked, and Beltran homered. This is the tough part of the lineup. Yesterday was the first time this year any major league team saw each of the first 6 batters collect at least 2 hits. So this team on fire. And they came in a solid offensive team. St. Louis leading the National League in batting at 277. Number 1 in runs scored, a little more than 5 runs per game. 3rd in home runs with 84. Three and one. He walked him. So that is the 4th walk issued by Jonathan Sanchez. And fans, we want you to be a part of the All-Star action this summer in Kansas City by coming out to Taco Bell All-Star Sunday here at the ballpark on Sunday, July 8th for 2 exciting events and a spectacular fireworks show to end the evening. The Sirius XM All-Star Futures game features the next generation of major leaguers and that are coming up from the minor leagues, and see some Hall of Famers, Royals legends, and your favorite celebrities in the Taco Bell All-Star Legends and Celebrity Softball Game. Tickets are available now at allstargame.com or by calling 1-888-FANFEST. The Royals have 3 players participating in that futures game, including stars Jake Odorizzi, Will Myers, and Class A ball player Jordan Rodano Ventura. Here's a ball shot down the line. That will roll into the corner. And Holiday continues his amazing success against Kansas City, now batting .600 this year.
Jonathan keeps walking guys. Those will hurt you, especially against a hot offense. And this guy here, his fastball is out over the middle. You have to just wipe the slobber off of Holiday's mouth. He just can't wait for anything out over that plate. Fortunate to keep that ball in the yard. Moose did all he could to try to knock it down.
Well, Sanchez has walked 4, 2 have scored, and right now that's the difference in the ball game. 4-2, St. Louis. Here is Beltran, and he takes low and in for ball 1. And it's not like Sanchez can pitch around a batter with first base open. With his command, he can't do that. He has to pitch to Beltran because Freese is a very patient hitter. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Looks like that fastball in the outer half is working for him. And mix in some of your secondary pitches and just keep it down. Hope he hits it at somebody, because you know more likely than not he's going to hit it.
One more comes home on the wild pitch by Jonathan Sanchez. The lead is back to 3 for St. Louis.
All right, that ball was just nowhere close. His release point totally lost on that one.
Sanchez has this, lobs to first base. He's disappointed in his 2nd inning, much like his first when he gave up a 3-run home run. It's 5-2 Cardinals. She is a courageous young woman. In 2007, Frances Nanouville was diagnosed with brain cancer and became an inspiration to others while undergoing treatment. Despite the physical limitations, the now 16-year-old continued to compete in sports, including equestrian and varsity golf at St. Teresa's Academy. Frances, who lives with her family in Leawood, Kansas, labels herself as a cancer survivor, not a patient, continues to participate in sports as it helps her feel normal, strong, and relevant. Way to go, Frances.
All right. Great story.
Here come the Royals and their designated hitter today, Brian Pena. Joel Goldberg's with us.
Well, Steve, it's the first time that he's DH since 2010, and so Brian telling me that he would ask Billy Butler for a bunch of tips and how to get ready, but Pena has plenty of experience at this. He DH'd 20 times in 2009 when he was one of 3 catchers on the roster with John Buck and Miguel Olivo. So similar situation to now. As far as that catching situation goes, he says he's aware of the situation, happy to be here. He's going to take advantage of every opportunity he gets and just focus on what he can control and let the rest handle it the way it does, guys.
And Joel, being a designated hitter is an art. Mitch Meyer absolutely marvels at Billy Butler's ability to sit on that bench and go up and absolutely hit perfectly.
Well, it takes, condition, more mental condition than anything else. It's a very difficult spot. I hated DH, and there's a lot of guys that would agree with me because, especially if you're used to playing every day. Now, Mitch Meyer, that guy, he's a premium super sub off the bench. He stays ready all the time. But it's hard. Sometimes you go 45 minutes in between at bats. And, the numbers, we talked about his DH in 20 games. He has hit just 154 as a DH. And it's very difficult.
What were the things that you would do when you were designated hitting that day in between your at-bats?
Well, I would just find a tunnel. Now, back, there's a ball hit high.
Into center field, Shane Robinson. Well, he's looking right up into that sun and is able to recover in time to make the catch of Brian Pena's high pop-up.
Yeah, it depends a lot. Most of the facilities now in these beautiful new ballparks all have runways. They have batting cages and things. You have things that you can stay loose. They have, and ballparks that don't have them, they have a bike you can ride to get the blood flowing. You can run up and down the stairs. Anything just to keep some, your blood flowing in your body, and you want to have a little sweat going by the time you get up there.
Well, here is Salvi Perez, and this is a great story because in early March he injured his left knee, tore the meniscus. He was out 3 months. Now he is back, and he is a marvelous talent. Sends one up the middle for Carl Hazett, twirls and fires and gets his man at first base. But good to see Salvi back in that lineup every day, and Ned Yost will work him back and forth, where he will start today and tomorrow, have Tuesday off, and then start again on Wednesday.
Yeah, nice to see Salvi running hard. Now, he was leaning out over, but he really got down that line very well.
Here is Gerard Dyson. You and I have the privilege of going down into the clubhouse and the dugout every single day and talking with the ball players. The last few days, I've seen you off in the corner with Gerard Dyson talking the game.
Yeah, I go out there and sit, and if anybody, players come by sometimes, they sit down, we talk a little bit, and sometimes we talk about things that don't even pertain to baseball, and other days we do. But spending time with him, he's young in his career. It's nice to be able to hear from him on what he's thinking, and he says that first base coach Doug Sisson has been a huge, huge help for him in his young career. Doug Sisson is in his second season as the Royals' first base coach, but he served for 3 seasons from 2008 to 10 as the minor league field coordinator for the Royals. And when Dyson was in the minor leagues, he said that Doug would always stay on him about running hard.
Robinson has it measured and makes the catch. We can finish that conversation when Dyson's in the field in the 3rd inning. We have a winner today in the Sprint Suites. Everett Mills from Kansas City, Missouri. You can win a day in the Sprint Suite merely by texting 432-432 keyword Royals during the Sprint You Call It segment of any Fox Sports Kansas City broadcast. Welcome, Everett. Another fine crowd here at Kauffman Stadium. Attendance way up over last year by almost 5,000 fans per game. This is a good young team. Fans in blue and certainly Cardinal red here today, coming down I-70. The ball struck to right field. Jeff Francoeur makes the catch. David Freese is the first out of the third inning. Hey parents, sign your kids up for Slugger's Blue Crew by U.S. Toy to be a part of all the fun all year long. Members receive a batting practice jersey, backpack, water bottle, ticket vouchers, front of the line access for every Sunday fun run, and much more. Membership is just $20. Join now at Royals.com/Blue Crew or by going to the U.S. Toy Store in Leawood, Kansas. Yadier Molina. St. Louis has scored 3 in the first, 2 in the second. Sanchez looking for an early count out and a quick inning.
He got that against Freese.
Now to accomplish the quick inning. His next pitch will be his 70th. Miss by much, but did miss, and it's a 3-1 count. In that 2010 season we were talking about, when he went 13-9 with a 3.07 ERA, we alluded to his best game as he walks Yadier Molina. That's the 5th walk in the game. Rex said he's never been a command pitcher, but in that game he didn't know he was starting. He replaced Randy Johnson in the rotation on July 10th of 2009 with his dad Sigfredo in the stands watching him start a major league game for the first time, and he threw the first Giants no-hitter in 33 years, the last by John Montefusco in 1976 against Atlanta. The only base runner that reached in that game was on an error by Uribe in the 8th inning. Jonathan really struggling with his command all afternoon long. He's already walked 5, and his walk to strikeout ratio is 33 walks this year to only 26 strikeouts.
Okay, Salvador Perez, before he threw that ball back, he pointed to Jonathan's glove side shoulder, saying, keep the shoulder in, keep it coming towards home, keep the shoulders level. Salvi's doing all he can. And, look at Salvador Perez, as tall as he is. What an imposing target to throw to. Big guy, agile, athletic. We saw him run down first base in his last at-bat, almost beat it out. Very talented young man.
And he's been compared with Sandy Alomar, who was a tall, physical, imposing catcher, but also suffered a lot of knee injuries. But then there have been tall, physical catchers, a guy like Carlton Fisk, who lasted a long time.
Sorry, Bob Boone was a big catcher. Lance Parrish.
Runner goes, pitch is swung on and pulled foul.
Lance Parrish, what a physical specimen he was. Back in his day with the Detroit Tigers, man, he was scary. I remember walking up there as a young rookie, walking up to home plate in Tiger Stadium, and I got near the plate and I looked at Parrish, and he was staring me down, and I went, wow, are we on the football field or the baseball field?
What was he, like 6'3", 240?
He was a big man. He was taller than that.
Second base, Ballew's going to second, and Escobar's return not in time.
Hey, Billy Butler thought he might have got him. Good start to the double play by Falou. Takes him to his left, turns and throws a perfect strike. Escobar with a good strong throw. They thought they had it. We'll have to see it again. Those long stride throwing stroke. Yeah, he was by the back.
Shane Robinson walked and scored his first time up on the double by Matt Holliday. Skied it to left. This should end the third inning. And does, as Gordon makes the catch in left field. We head to the bottom half of the third. Kansas City trails by 3.
Royals have lost 4 pitchers this year to Tommy John surgery, elbow injuries, and we had the head team physician, Dr. Vincent Keon, to talk about, is it mechanics or overuse with pitchers?
It's a little bit of both. I think the biggest thing is it's over time. It's just like you take a car tire and you drive 100,000 miles. That tire is going to be worn, as opposed to you driving 20,000 miles and you don't have that wear. And it's over time, and people must understand that these guys are coming into the major leagues. They have some sort of wear and tear on that elbow.
Great insight from Dr. Vincent Key on Hy-Vee Royals Live. Guys, he was one of the last residents for Dr. Frank Jobe, who came up with the procedure, so very familiar with it. And a couple of interesting points to think about here with all the Tommy Johns, as that ball is going to be popped out by Escobar. One, he said Joakim Soria's situation completely different. He called Dr. James Andrews and talked about that recently, and they don't have an answer yet on how long these reconstructions last. It's the second one now for Soria. And as far as kids go, he said this. He said more is not better, smarter is better. He said it's insane that kids are playing 80 to 100 games a summer. You've got to rest that elbow. Really nice to get some insight from an expert in the field.
That is a great point, Joe. We hear that more and more from coaches in the industry, where they really prefer athletes who play all 3 sports. And I'm in the booth with Rex Hudler, who was not only an All-American in baseball in high school, but an All-American in football and a terrific soccer player. And Rex, you've told me many times that all those other 2 sports, football and soccer, really helped you in baseball.
Yeah, look at the eyes on that ball there. And way to go, Gordo. He's got his second hit. Yeah, Fizz, there's no doubt about it. It starts in Little League as far as pitching goes with elbows, okay? Your kid's going to tell you, Daddy, my arm's a little bit sore, it's a little tired. And you just simply tell the coach, look, my kid's arm's a little sore, don't pitch him. Let him play another position, find another pitcher. That's that simple. Dr. Vincent said rest is the most important thing, and that's the truth.
But you also told me that soccer was very helpful in your footwork as a shortstop.
Sure it is. You know, a lot of these guys played soccer as a youth, as a young guy. That's important. Too bad for this one here.
4, 6, and 3 double play. Quick third inning for Lance Lynn. Well, join us at the ballpark tomorrow for Water Awareness Night. The first 10,000 fans will receive a reusable Royals water bottle presented by Grundfos. The Royals take on the Tampa Bay Rays at 7:10. You can get tickets by going to Royals.com or calling 1-800-6-ROYALS. Joe, Don, Morgan, and Corey out there trying to get a break. Some nice cold water.
Who can down one jug of water in one gulp? Let's see it. There it is. There's a try. Good try. All right. How about a fountain? Can you spew a fountain from there?
You're asking too much.
Yeah, well, these guys give us a lot. So sorry about asking for so much, but we appreciate your work and the shots you give us here. Sure do. And I tell you, you got to have clothing that has sunscreen in the clothing so you don't get burned on a hot day like today.
Daniel Descalso pulls one foul. He is down in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Daniel popped up to left field his first time up. He is a young Cardinal, 25 years of age, from Redwood City, California. Played his college baseball at a fine academic institution, the University of California at Davis, which is just west of Sacramento. Swing and a miss, and down he goes. Strikeout number 2 for Sanchez.
Okay, Sanchez looks a little bit more comfortable now, and he probably should, since he's already expended 84 pitches. But he's going at these guys using his fastball from almost a 3/4 arm slot delivery. Ball was thrown by Descalso.
Breaking ball to Furcal for ball 1. Rafi has had a couple of great at-bats, and the result is an 0 for 2, but he has forced Sanchez to throw almost 20 pitches in those 2 at-bats. There's a ground ball struck to the second baseman, Falou. 2 quick outs. Fans get downloads up to 50 megabits per second with Time Warner Cable Ultimate Internet. Lance Lynn's top velocity 94. Jonathan Sanchez at 91. Advantage Lynn, who leads 5-2. Sanchez looking for his first 1-2-3 inning. He had 1 over the minimum in the 3rd when he walked Yadier Molina, but left him stranded. Actually, he was forced out, and then Robinson popped out. Well, that scattered down there in the luxury box. Kind of bounced around like a pinball machine.
Almost every ballpark now in the 30 teams has a net in front of the dugouts. Good spot on the corner. It used to be they didn't have those nets in the dugout. And really, it's the important thing because that ball, it hurts when you get hit by it, especially that close to the playing surface. You know, it kind of distracts your view. You see a lot of players now, at night games especially, that sit and stand up on the top of the rail. And it's because people don't like to have their view distracted. And, you know, but for safety reasons, that's why they put that net in front of dugouts. And it saves a lot of injuries that way. We used to call those ugly finders whenever they'd come in the dugout. Somebody would get hit. You would say, aha, ugly finder. And you know, guys would sprawl out. Sometimes you found yourself on the bottom of that floor of that dugout, and that's not the most cleanly spot to be in. Sunflower seeds, tobacco juice, Gatorade, water, all that stuff. There you go.
Strike 3 called, and Sanchez, after really being roughed up in the first 2 innings, has looked pretty good in innings 3 and 4. Still, he trails St. Louis by a score of 5-2. Baseball is brought to you by your Midwest Ford dealer. By Steel. Find a helpful servicing Steel dealer. Visit steeldealers.com. And by AT&T, the world's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. That's the way the Cardinals have been seeing the baseball lately. They have been hot, on fire in this series with Kansas City. They scored 19 runs in the first 2 games of the series and then scored 5 in the first 2 innings of this one. Here in the bottom of the 4th, Mike Moustakas, who launched one his first at bat, 2-run home run, responsible for both Kansas City runs. Home run number 11. That is already 6 more than he had all of last year when he was called up for the first time in the minor leagues. Royals' first-round pick, and a young man from Southern California who was an All-American in high school and moved from shortstop to third base in professional baseball. And he is a gamer. You know, he gives you that look. It's unshaven, looked like he just got off a raft or something.
Who, Moose?
Moose, but he can play ball.
Yeah, no, he's a baller.
Belts this one well. 2 home runs today for Mike Moustakas.
The Moose is loose here at Kauffman Stadium, and consecutive at-bats to start this final game of Interleague Series. Hits his first multi-career hit home runs in his career. Way to go, Moose. Congratulations. Looking for fastballs out over. Billy Butler's got a shot now. He hit one on the nose his first time up. Little slider. Hit it right to Descalzo, who had to leap to catch it. Billy Butler's the only other Royal to have a multi-home run game this year.
And he swings and misses at the high fastball. But let's go back to Mike Moustakas. He has had 2 long shots in this one.
Okay, both of them in the same spot. Okay, so muscle memory is very important for athletes of all sports, like we talked about earlier. And once you get into a home run groove, you start to feel that stroke, and it comes naturally to you, especially when your eyes tell your hands, hey, I've been there and done that before, put the barrel there.
His first shot went 442 feet over the bullpen and deep into the seats. Jeff Francoeur swings and misses at the breaking ball thrown by Lance Lynn.
You know, I think Frenchie needs to show some blue and hike them pants up and change his luck a little. He was red hot.
Well, he kept him down, and he belts this one out. So maybe he doesn't have to go to the fashion police.
Offense to the rescue. All of a sudden, the Royals are breaking out the power. It wasn't the fastball, it was the slider. Frenchie waited just a click and was able to throw the bat head to it. Gets the back underside, travels out of the yard. Look at those eyes light up. Hips turned, head positions on it. Good follow through, kept his head down just like he does on the golf course.
How about this? A smash up the middle that may have struck Lynn, just glancing off of the pitcher. And then sliding off of Casper Call.
Yeah,
that comes Matheny and Derek Lilliquist, the pitching coach, the trainer for St. Louis as well.
Yeah, that got him. And, you know, it glanced off him as the ball kept going into center field now. So it didn't hit him squarely, but still, anytime on the back, anything that has to do anywhere really, you get hit as a pitcher, they're going to come out and check on you.
Lance Lynn, a big tough guy at 6'5", 250 pounds. You can see that he had his back turned and just got right square in the back.
Yeah, no, that's on
spine.
That's on the right throwing shoulder too. So you know they'll have to kind of really watch that. We saw their guy Kelly yesterday get hit in the thigh, and he was able to stay in the game. But you get hit up on a shoulder like that in the middle of the back, it can really cause some difficulty. But he's staying in there.
He has been catching a lot of the plate in this inning. 3 of the last 4 batters have really ripped him. 2 home runs, one by Moustakas, one by Francoeur, and then this smash by Pena. Well, just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller time later in today's game. Brought to you by Miller Lite. Salvi Perez, the batter, belted his first of the year on Friday.
Hey, having Salvador's bat in there in that 7th spot really does help the looks and the balance as far as the hitters go and the power in this lineup of the Royals.
A flare towards second, caught by Descalso for out number 2. Pena at first base, 2 out for Gerard Dyson. And you wanted to finish a story about Dyson. You were talking about Doug Sisson, who's the first base coach, and he was very influential on Dyson early in his career.
Yeah, you know, when Sisson was the Royals minor league field coordinator, he used to go down to the minor leagues and he saw Gerard hit a one-hopper back to the pitcher, and Gerard didn't really give it 100% down the line. He pulled him aside constantly and says, look, the pitcher is not the best fielder on the field. He's one of the worst. You go with your kind of speed, you go hard, that's going to put pressure on the throw, and he's going to miss the ball over there at first. He might throw it away. You got a chance to do something with your speed, Gerard. So, you know, playing with a sense of urgency, knowing that you don't have a whole lot of your life to play up here, you might as well give it 100%. And Doug Sisson, with his pants bloused over at first base, has been a huge addition to this Royals team, and his work ethic, the way he works the outfielders and the base runners, bunters. He's pretty special. But Doug Sisson also is blessed with 3 beautiful girls. He's got a lovely wife, Angela, and daughters Tori and Delaney. And Doug Sisson is a well-rounded baseball guy, but a great father.
Dyson takes a strike. He may take another one. We've got Alcides Escobar waiting on deck, who's been swinging a hot bat of late. Getting close to 370 the last couple of weeks of the season and has 4 hits in the series. He does take another, and it is now full. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Hey, Gerard says he wants to keep that focus on staying inside the baseball, using it to the opposite field, taking advantage of third baseman and shortstops that play him in a little bit because of his speed. Lance Lynn wants to throw another one just like that and challenge Gerard. They can put in play with 2 outs here. Pena probably be going for sure. 3-2, 2 outs.
And it's hit in the gap.
Watch him go.
Pena roars around third. He will score the tying run as Dyson gets himself a triple.
Three runs in the 4th inning. Wow. Shocked the house at the K here, giving Royals fans a lot to cheer about. Dyson loves to show off that speed. Hits first base, the inside part of the base, and hits second. Let's watch him go. Okay, he knew it was coming. 3-2. Watch him. Like to have a clock on him from contact to third base. It's the third base. Pick up that ball because you never know what can happen on the throws behind you. And they got a nice little 2-out rally going here. I think the pride of the offense of the Royals is starting to show. And also Lance Lynn taking advantage of some pitches that are right on over the plate. This is what you want to do as an offense. Take advantage of the ball that's out over, hit it, put it in play, put some pressure on, score some runs. Help Sanchez. It's a new game now for Sanchez.
Twice in this game, Kansas City has been down by as many as 3 runs. Come all the way back to tie it up 5-5. Alcides Escobar, 1 home run this year, shows bunt. And that brought the third baseman David Freese, who's outstanding defensively. But he was back at third base and had to come charging in as soon as he saw Escobar show bunt. One ball, 1 strike. Both pitchers have thrown a lot of pitches. Lynn has thrown 60. Sanchez at 91. One and 2. Lynn got off to a red hot start this year. He's the first Major League Baseball player to 8 wins, along with Cole Hamels, Philadelphia. Lynn's 8th win came in just his 10th start, though. Only Bob Gibson in 1965 got there quicker in 9 starts for St. Louis.
Well, you get 7 runs per game, you're going to win a lot of games.
Ooh. Outside corner, strike 3 called. Escobar is gone. But in the inning, 3 runs, 2 big flies, 1 by Moose, 1 by Frenchie, and Dyson's triple ties it at 5.
Why does the Bombardier open them doors?
Family Fun Day Sunday to enjoy. Face painters, balloon artists, kids entertainment by Radio Disney, and much more. Sundays at the Ballpark is your family destination. Go to Royals.com/Sunday for more information and tickets. Jonathan Sanchez hopes he has settled down after his team came back to tie this game at 5. He will face 3 very tough batters in Matt Holliday, Carlos Beltran, and David Freese. 1-1 count to Holliday, who has walked and doubled in this game. Talk about a guy who has torched the Royals this year. Matt Holliday, 14 hits in 23 at bats, and finally they get Holliday out. Well, here's the sprint you call it. Who's the best All-Star game performance? Text 432-432 and enter the keyword Royals. Was it Babe Ruth in 33, a home run in his first All-Star game? Or how about Ted Williams, 4 for 4, 2 big flies? That was pretty impressive. Williams had some sensational All-Star games. Yaz in 70 went 4 for 6. And then you had Bo Jackson, 2 for 4 with a home run that went about 480 feet. That was the smash off Rick Russell.
Boy,
at the Big A.
It's hard to go against a 4 for 4 day, perfect day. In an All-Star game like that, couple homers, I'm going with Teddy Ballgame.
I've got to agree with you because his were so impressive. The fact that he had some game winners. Here's the 2-1 pitch. One of the most amazing things about Ted Williams, the year he hit 406, the last player ever to hit over 400, he was not named American League MVP. The award that year went to Jolton Joe DiMaggio because of his 56 game hit streak. 1 out. Carlos Beltran is homered in this game. Now he pops up shallow right field. Falou is out, being called off by Dyson, who makes the catch. We're out number 2.
Sanchez, all of a sudden, he says, okay, it's a new game. I got a chance. 7 hitters in a row. He's retired. settling in. Even though the next pitch will be his 100th.
And I would imagine if he can get this guy out, Ned Yost may say, job well done. Maybe not first 2 innings, but the last 3 have really been good. Here's a tough batter in David Freese, who's walked and flied out to right field. Freese, a power hitter with 13 home runs and 45 RBIs.
He's thrown as many as 115 pitches this season. That was against Cleveland early in April.
The 3, 4, 5 hitters in St. Louis's lineup all have at least 45 RBIs.
Oh, man, perfect spot. Exactly where you want to make that pitch. Wasn't given to him by Country Joe West.
Two and one.
I remember Joe West when they used to have just National League umpires and American League umpires. There was no interchanging umpires like they do now. They all go all over baseball, 30 teams. I'd be in the on-deck circle, and Joe would say, "Get in the box." I didn't like that. It hurt my feelings.
A rough beginning for Jonathan Sanchez, but he got better as the game wore on, and he is tied up at 5. By the way, the third installment of T-Shirt Tuesday is coming up against Tampa Bay. The first 10,000 fans will receive a vintage powder blue Royals T-shirt presented by Farmland. Gates open at 5:30, so get there early. Go to Royals.com/T-Shirt Tuesday or call 1-800-6-ROYALS for tickets. Well, what started out a troubling game for Jonathan Sanchez has suddenly turned to pins and needles. Excellent comeback both by Sanchez and the Royals. And here is Alex Gordon, and he rips one foul. Alex with 2 hits already, hitting over 360 the last couple of weeks of the season.
Pins and needles is a lot better than yawns and frowns.
Because it was that way, because Sanchez threw over 60 pitches in the first 2 innings, gave up 3 runs in the first, 2 more in the second, didn't look like he'd last the third, and then he was able to work around a 1-out walk in the 3rd inning and retire 8 straight batters and now make it through 5 in a 5-5 game as Moustakas has homered twice, Francoeur has homered once, Dyson with a big triple to tie the game. Lance Lynn might be tightening up a little bit after taking a shot by Pena off of his back in the 4th inning.
Well, he could be, but Mike Matheny, he's monitoring that situation very well. There's nobody up in their pen.
A flare to left field. Foul. So Gordon has barely missed extra bases right field foul line, and now barely missed extra bases on the left field side.
Okay, so now anywhere right in the middle would be nice for him. He's gone line to line. Go ahead and get that clean knock. Of course, the way Furcal's playing, you may want to make sure he doesn't hit it exactly up the middle. You can see right there where he is, but you know there's plenty of lanes for Gordon to stay hot with.
He also has shown a great eye this series and this year. Alex with 7 walks against St. Louis this season. And he's 6th in the American League overall with 40 walks. He now has a 3-2 count. Last year at this point in the season, Rex, Alex Gordon had a higher batting average but a lower on-base percentage. Going into his 70th game, he had an on-base percentage of .349. This year it's over 36.
Yeah, he's much more relaxed, more confident. And doing what he's doing now is really helping. Even though, you know, he's not squaring it up and getting the knock like he wants, he's taxing the pitch count of Lynn, which is at 70 now. When you're loose and confident, you're able to relax and also react quicker.
Shane Robinson, 1 out.
With the Tampa Bay Rays coming in to start the series tomorrow, 3-game series, they're having a long day at the ballpark in Philadelphia at the Vet. A day and night doubleheader against those Phillies. Maybe it'll wear them down a little bit so when they come in here to the K and the Royals can clean up on them. Now tomorrow's starting pitcher for the Royals, of course, they'll put him on the airplane early and he'll fly here to Kansas City.
Oh, for the Rays.
I'm sorry, yeah, for the Rays.
That's young Chris Archer, too. We have not seen him.
It says Alex Cobb is scheduled to pitch on
Well,
Monday.
then they changed that. Chris Archer will go on Tuesday. I beg your pardon. They changed that because Archer was earlier listed to go on Monday.
Yeah, so they'll fly him early, Cobb anyway, so he gets his rest.
It will be Cobb, Archer, and then Matt Moore going against the Royals' Hochevar Chen and TVA.
Day-night doubleheaders, okay, they're long. You have a 12 o'clock start, a 1 o'clock start, then after the game's over, they clear the ballpark out and you wait and you start the game at 7 or whenever they can and play another into the night. Long day.
Irving Falou looking to get on base, but he takes a strike. The count is full 3-2. So Lynn went full count to Gordon and now Falou with Mike Moustakas waiting on deck. Moose got his first multi-home run game in his career in his last at bat. As he homered in the first, homered again in the fourth. He'll get a shot here in the fifth. And Falou rips one to right field, but not deep enough. Almost went over the head of Alan Craig in right field as he took an odd angle to the baseball. Makes the catch for out number 2.
Almost played that into a triple. Falou, he barreled it up nicely. Almost got over his head. Okay, we'll see now if Lance Lynn will feed more fastballs into Moose. Can't change your approach. You still got to look for that fastball. I'm sure that Lynn will throw one. He's got to be a little bit careful where he puts it. That was an off-speed pitch.
Mike beginning to pick up his pace. His batting average right now at 280 with the 12 home runs. 3 RBIs, give him 36 for the year. And Lynn working around him.
You hit a home run off a pitcher once, that gets the pitcher's attention. You take him deep twice in the same game, now you really got his attention. And so far, those 2 pitches were changeups away.
To the first baseman, Matt Carpenter. He'll take care of Moustakas. The Royals are done in the 5th inning. We head to number 6, tied at 5. Lewis in Kansas City, Steve Physiak along with Rex Hudler, Jonathan Sanchez settling down. But earlier in this game, the last base runner he allowed was a walk. And you notice Salvi Perez pointing to the front shoulder of Sanchez like, keep it in. What'd you notice?
Yeah, he's making some adjustments now. The ball's coming out a lot freer and easier out of his hand. He's got his shoulder heading right towards home plate, good level of his shoulders. And, you know, that's the difference that Salvador Perez makes. Now, not that the other guys weren't doing stuff like that, Quintero and Pena, but Salvador is their guy. And he can notice on the fly different things that happen. Uh-oh, that might have to hook foul. Uh-oh.
It does not. It is a home run for Yadier Molina. Sanchez had retired 8 straight Cardinals, and then Molina touched him up for his 10th home run of the season.
Okay, Sanchez got caught with one out over the middle. He's been having some success with the fastball on the outer half of the plate. And when you leave one out over, hitters know what to do with it. Yachty just kept it fair. Now with that, good pick.
Ballou throws out Carpenter.
Tim Collins is up in their pen.
Sanchez has now thrown over 100 pitches. And the work that he had to do, the stressful innings in 1 and 2, Collins now warming in the Kansas City pen. And the Royals pen is really worn thin, fan. They used 7 relievers the last 2 days, and those relievers threw 213 pitches, 12 1/3 innings. No other team in baseball has used the pen more the last 2 days. Moustakas, nice backhand. 2 outs.
Yeah, but Sanchez, he cruised through the Cardinals in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th inning without allowing any runs, and that kind of got him back on track. He had some early count outs, and that's kept him in here to at least the 6th inning. One more out to go, and I'm sure that he'll probably bring in somebody else, but it's nice to have a good defense behind you.
It looked good from here, but it was called a ball as Daniel Descalso stands at the plate. He is 0 for 2 with a pop-up and strikeout. 2 balls, no strikes. The Cardinals have hit 2 home runs. The Royals have hit 3. St. Louis leads by 1. 6 runs on 4 hits for St. Louis. The Royals with 5 on 7. Unfortunately, Sanchez has walked 5 and also thrown a wild pitch that scored a run. He's fighting his command now, and Sanchez has thrown over 110 pitches now in the ball game. That was his 110th, so he has had thrown 61 strikes, only 40 and 49 balls, and there is ball 4. And here comes Ned Yost. So Jonathan gave his team a tremendous effort. He did not look like he would last through 2 innings after he gave up 5 runs in the first 2 innings. But now over 110 pitches. He will be taken out of the game by Ned Yost. We have our Chevy call to the bullpen to bring on Tim Collins. Lead, and fans, we ask that you help provide for those in need during the annual Royals Wives Food Drive that starts tomorrow and continues on Tuesday from 6 to 8 at the Outfield Experience. There will be a silent auction on Monday and mystery bags that feature Royals autographed baseballs on Tuesday. Fans are also encouraged to drop off kid-friendly and non-perishable food items during both days. All proceeds will benefit the Bishop Sullivan Center. You can learn more at Royals.com/food drive. Tim Collins out of the bullpen facing Rafael Furcal with a runner at first base. Tim goes that way, pushing Descalso back to the bag. Daniel has good speed. Still a couple of bags.
Baseball wives do a whole lot, not just in the community for their husbands and community work, but the workload a baseball mom has and a wife is incredible. They run the whole show. They do it all. They take care of the kids. They pay the bills. They're the fix-it people, too. They call the guy that needs to fix something in the house. I mean, they don't get enough love. And I'm giving it to them now because I understand that whole thing. God bless my wife for 23 years. She put up with that, too, and I'm better for it. And so are all these Royals players that are blessed with wives and great helpers.
Collins throws low. Furcal with a terrific road trip. 7 hits on this trip to Detroit and now to Kansas City. 3 hits in this series, including accepting 3 walks, but 0 for 3 today. And facing Tim Collins, who's one of the best in baseball in striking out batters. A pop-up to right field. Frenchie says he has it, and he does. The inning is over, but St. Louis scores a run on Yadier Molina's leadoff big fly. Kansas City this July. Don't miss the biggest event of the summer as baseball's greatest stars battle for home field advantage in the Fall Classic. The road to the World Series begins with the 2012 Major League Baseball All-Star Game Tuesday, July 10th at 6:30 on Fox. And the fan vote to pick the starters for this year's All-Star Game in KC is almost over. Make sure you vote for all of your favorite Royals players. Play your part by going to Royals.com/vote to crown a Royal. And Billy Butler goes corner, but Craig runs it down. Butler is a guy I would encourage you to vote for, and also Mike Moustakas with his first career multi-home run game today.
Fans, you only have till Thursday of this coming week. So go online. Vote all you can. I think there's a limit, though. I think you can only vote like 16 times or something.
By the way, the sixth inning is our Sonic Slam inning, and our contestant is Jessica Schmidt from Kansas City. If the Royals hit a home run in this inning, Jessica will win $900, but if the Royals hit a grand slam out of the yard, Jessica will win $25,000 from Sonic and the Royals. How about a multi-home run game from Frenchie? He has one, and he fouls this one off. Let's go to Joel Goldberg.
Well, Steve, Jeff Francoeur has been struggling this month, and I talked to him about it this morning, and he said he actually stayed after the game yesterday, went down to the cage by himself and hit about 100 balls off the tee and the pitching machine. Very frustrated with himself. Now, he went through this last year. In June last year, 213, 231 on base, 227 slug. This June coming into today, 215, 256, and 304. That was last year. He had 11 RBIs last year in the month, just 4 this month. But he said last year he was chasing, and Kevin Seitzer said, I don't see him chasing at this point. He's just not driving the ball right now, and so maybe good things to happen with that home run last time out.
Slices that out of play to the right side. Let's go back to the fourth inning when Frenchie came up his last at bat.
Okay, got a slider that was out over. He put an easy swing on it. Okay, he wasn't trying to hit one there, and that's usually when you get them.
Base hit left field. So the tying run is on. But, Joel, that's the one thing I notice about Frenchie. I mean, he really had a strong season last year with 71 extra base hits. He only has 22 this season.
Well, and, you know, in talking to him, he said his biggest frustration right now is that he's just not driving the ball. And that's why I wanted to know, because he went completely cold last June, and the numbers even worse this June. And I said, any similarities? And he said, no, he was pressing last June. And Ned Yost agreed that it was different last June, and Kevin Seitzer agreed that it was different. And that's maybe why he stayed to get in that extra work yesterday. And so far for him, maybe some results with 2 hits in the homer today.
Yeah, lots of times that will do the thing. They'll do the trick after the game. Everybody's gone home. You call your wife, say, hey, honey, I'm going to be a little late today. I got to do a little extra work. And you just go in that cage and you try to find something. You hit your way out of it. You work your way out of it. You don't just push a button and say, oh, it's going to change. You got to hit.
Here is Brian Pena, who had a hit his last time up and scored in the triple by Gerard Dyson. Lance Lynn has given his team as much as he can. He's thrown 88 pitches, but certainly not one of his better starts. Gave up 5 in 5 innings to Detroit in his last start. Gets a base hit here for Pena. Francoeur turns second on his way to third. Throw by Craig. Offline. Now they have Pena tied up, but they can't get the throw to first base in time as Brian really rounded first a long way, and Craig's throw was cut off, and Brian very fortunate.
Yeah, but a good job of pulling that ball. He saw the hole there. Get Frenchie to third base, first and third with nobody out, one out. Good chance to score a run. Now, he only got off first base as far as he could to get back because there was nobody at first, and they weren't able to throw behind him. He was trying to read that throw. Had it gone over for Call's head, he would have advanced into second base. So I like Pena's aggressiveness.
We will see a pitching change here. This is our Chevy pitching change. A call to the bullpen as Lynn's afternoon is over. Feet from home plate. Brian Pena singled him to third base. Almost got picked off when he rounded first base too far. Now he'll watch as his teammate Salvi Perez steps to the plate, trying to knock in Frenchie.
Yeah, now I like that Pena's big turn there. He was waiting for the overthrow from Craig to third base, and that's what he was doing. He would have advanced, stayed out of a double play. So, but he went as far as he could.
And Marte gets a lot of double plays. As a matter of fact, only 17% of inherited runners have scored off Victor Marte, who was once a member of the Kansas City Royals and acquired by St. Louis last year and sent to Memphis, where he led the PCL in saves with 31.
Sinker, slider, changeup. Ball's moving down.
Great block by Molina. That is why he is a Gold Glover. If that ball goes back to the screen, Frenchie would have scored easily.
Salvi's able to hold up. Molina does that as well as anyone. But you know, if you try to pull this guy, you're gonna hit a ground ball. So don't try to stay inside the ball best you can. Shoot to the opposite field. Maybe an extra base.
Perez chops it towards short for Collins. Only plays first, and Jeff scores the tying run. We are locked up at 6 at Kauffman Stadium.
Okay, Salvi looked a little off balance, but he'll take the RBI for sure and stayed out of the double play with the ball not hit so hard, but he's hustling, hard charging out of that box and running good. Nice to see him running hard and not favoring that surgically repaired knee.
Now Gerard Dyson, who tied the game with a triple in the 4th inning. He could give the Royals their first lead of the day with a base hit here. He sends it up the middle, but it's backhanded by Descalso, who throws him out. Still Kansas City with a couple of hits scores the tying run. By Panera Bread with 23 locations and now in Brookside. Visit us at PaneraKansas.com. And by AT&T Uverse, the new wireless receiver from AT&T Uverse. Visit att.com/free your TV. Rethink possible. Steve Physiot, Rex Hudler, Joe Goldberg, Jeff Montgomery with you. Cardinals and Royals tied at 6. We head to the 7th inning of play. I think those fans out near the fountains would like to see some of that water spray on them on a hot afternoon where the temperature is near 100 degrees. There are so many great seats in this ballpark. As a matter of fact, there isn't a bad one. We've been up to the top rafters and magnificent views of the ballpark. Hot one today, temperature near 100. A Sunday afternoon final game of the I-70 series. Tim Collins stays in the ball game to face Craig, Holiday, and Beltran.
Royals tying it up, takes Jonathan Sanchez off of the possible lost column. It's a good thing for him.
Sanchez gave up 6 runs in 5 2/3. Lance Lynn gave up 6 runs in 5 1/3, and Collins gets a strike across, a swing and a miss by Alan Craig.
Off the good straight changeup. Mid-90s fastball, big curve, and a really good changeup he can use to either batter on either side of the plate.
Popped him up, shallow right center. Dyson, 1 out. Bring the entire family to Major League Baseball's All-Star Fan Fest from July 6th through the 10th at Kansas City's Convention Center Bartle Hall. Baseball's All-Star Fan Fest is an interactive baseball theme park and the largest baseball fan event in the world. Get free autographs from legends and members of the Hall of Fame and much more. To guarantee your preferred date and time slot, buy tickets now at allstargame.com. All attractions are included with the price of admission.
Man, and those things are a blast. You never know who you're going to run into. Go there with your ball, and you never know you're going to meet a Hall of Famer or a former star.
Collins now working against Matt Holliday, who has walked, doubled, and grounded out. He now has 14 hits and 24 at-bats against Kansas City this year with 2 home runs and 9 RBIs. Down low. Good eye for the veteran from Stillwater, Oklahoma. His daddy was the coach at OSU. A walk to Holliday. That is the 7th walk by Kansas City pitching in this game. 6 by Sanchez, now 1 by Collins. That's always dangerous in front of Carlos Beltran, who has 20 home runs this year. That is now tied with Ryan Braun of Milwaukee for the most in the senior circuit. Bautista and Dunn lead the major leagues with 23. And that ball popped up right side. Butler, does he have room? Yes, he does. Now David Freese, who is the star of the playoffs. He is currently 4th among National League third basemen in the All-Star voting. In a solid season. 13 home runs, 45 RBIs. Runner goes. The pitch is taken low, and a stolen base for Matt Holliday.
Now, he got such a great takeoff. Salvi said, you know what, let him go there. We got 2 outs. Let's focus on the hitter. 3rd stolen base for Holliday. You know, the All-Star game that was at Angel Stadium in 2010, my son went and he got a chance to get a picture with Holliday. Really made his year, man. He was so fired up, and also got to meet Hall of Famers Hank Aaron, Rod Carew, and Frank Robinson.
That's a pretty good day at the Yard.
Mm-hmm. So exciting that's coming here.
Collins very deserving of being an all-star this year. We've talked about that on numerous occasions, but he gives up a base hit here. Gordon has a great arm. Here's the throw to the plate offline. Perez will get the out at second base, but the damage has been done as Freese, clutch in the playoffs, now clutch in the I-70 series with a base hit that gives the Cards a 7-6 lead. By the Missouri Division of Tourism. Go to visitmo.com to start planning your next Missouri getaway. Welcome to Branson. Experience authentic Ozark mountain hospitality at the famous Highway 76. You can experience the Presley's Country Jubilee, Branson's first family of entertainment. 4 generations on stage nightly with an unforgettable show. There are even dinner shows aboard the showboat Branson Belle on Table Rock Lake. The 2-hour cruise features a delicious 3-course meal while listening to one of the remarkable shows aboard the boat. Fans need a little sunblock and some fans as well on a hot afternoon in Kansas City, Missouri. 7-6, St. Louis has the lead on a base hit by David Freese that scored Matt Holliday. Alex Gordon had a great opportunity to throw out Holliday at home plate, and Alex has one of the best arms in baseball, but a little wide on this throw.
Yep, a little up the first base line, you don't have a chance, but Salvador Perez could read it, and he went ahead and took the out. Now, when you catch the ball in the outfield at the same time the runner hits third, you have a pretty good shot. Gordon just missed off the mark. But Salvador ready to gun somebody out. Now, that's what you do. You steal a base in a situation like that, hoping that happens. So Holliday did a good job of getting a good jump and didn't even get a throw down there and got into scoring position.
Alcides Escobar will lead things off for Kansas City. He'll be followed by Gordon, then Irving Falou. If anybody gets on, Mike Moustakas, who already has 2 home runs today. Escobar 0 for 2 with a pop-up and strikeout. Strikeout came looking, and now he takes a strike to even the count at 1-1.
Marte is a good guy to bunt off of. Has a sinker, ball's moving down. It's easier to get the ball down. Freese is a little bit in back of the bag.
Hit pretty well, left center field. Holliday back. That's off the wall. Great way to start the bottom of the 7th inning by the Royals shortstop.
Nice swing by Escobar for his 16th double. Didn't quite have enough to get it out there in the deep gap in left center field. Holliday knew he couldn't get it, so it plays it off the base of the wall.
And with the left-handed swinging Alex Gordon stepping to the plate, Mike Matheny will make a change. He has Gordon coming up, then the switch hitter Irving Falou, and then Mike Moustakas. So we will see a left-hander come out of that Cardinal bullpen. Booming double. Now he is in scoring position. Our AT&T trivia question: who are the only 3 players to play in both the 1960 and 1973 All-Star games in Kansas City?
Another hard one.
Well, Willie Mays played in 24, so that has to be one of my guesses. And he certainly played in the 73 game. Henry Aaron also played in the 73 game.
Wow. I guess it's not so hard for you.
Well, I just threw out 2 names who are the greatest players I've ever seen. And I went to the 73 game here in Kansas City, and I went to see Mr. Aaron and Mr. Mays.
Well, let's see if Gordon can tie this baby up.
Well, here is Mark Zepchinski. He is their left-handed specialist. He has 9 holds this year, holding leads in St. Louis, currently with 7 runs on 5 hits, with the Royals 6 runs on 10. Gordon 2 for 3. Zepchinski steps off. He's 1-3 with a 5.47 ERA. And left-handers doing some damage against Zepchinski this year. 255 average with 2 home runs.
And Gordon's a 233 hitter against southpaws, but what he wants to do here is try to pull that ball and get Escobar to third base. Look at that hole, man. That hole right there looks very inviting. For anything that Gordon wants to hit there would be, it's wide open. He's been going that way a lot in the last week.
Zepchinski throws him a ball that breaks down and away from Alex. 1-1 count. He did a terrific job for St. Louis last year, struck out a career high 61 in a career high 71 games. Escobar covering the back of his head just in case Mark threw his way.
Well, with Furcal sitting or standing right there, they're worried about Escobar trying to steal third, and they should, because if he gets a lead, he can hit take off.
1-2. Gordon did just what you said he would try to do, pull the ball.
He's a sinker baller. Big slurvy curve ball and a changeup. Probably see the breaking ball here.
Holiday pretty deep in left. Back up the middle, right where Raphael is. He will bluff the move towards second base and then throw out Alex Gordon, so no advance by Alex. And if Furcal is playing in his natural position over towards third base, that would be a base hit up the middle, but the defensive chart show this is where Alex usually goes.
Still like to see Escobar advance to third on that. He on contact, if he goes to third base, it puts the pressure on Furcal to try to get him at third or go ahead and take the out. But this late in the game, you might take a chance, although he already is in scoring position. So it was a kind of a tough read for Escobar there. He wasn't sure. He looked at Eddie Rodriguez and put his hands in the air like, well, I don't know if I should have win or not.
How about Irving Pelou coming through?
Okay, look at him. He's looking at Escobar saying, you know, he's looking at Eddie Rodriguez saying, maybe I made a mistake there, but I played it safe.
Still in scoring position.
Right. Pelou hits the ball to the opposite field well. It's got a hole there. Now with Descalzo, the second baseman, holding Escobar a little bit close. He's given up some ground in that hole. Greg with a good throwing arm. In right, be close.
Trying to tease Pelou, and now the count is 3-0. With Moustakas waiting his turn, a guy who has already hit 2 out of the ballpark. 3-1.
Yep, Zepchinski wants to get back in the count here and try to get Falou out.
Rolls it foul. The count is now full 3-2.
He was looking for that pitch out there, trying to hit that hole.
Zepchinski pitching him away, away, away. Popped him up. Craig makes the catch for the second out. And again, no advance by Escobar. As promised earlier, it's Miller time. Brought to you by Miller Lite. Crowd chanting Moose. Mike Moustakas, who has belted 2 home runs in this game.
All right, belt high fastball. Moose knows how to react. He hit that ball a ton. Well over 400 feet, and he snuck one over that wall in his second at bat as well. So Moustakas hits his 11th and 12th homers of the year. One behind Billy Butler, the team leader, with 13, who's on deck.
This will be the last batter that Zepchinski will face. Billy Butler is on deck. Mike knows they've got to come to him. Sends a ground ball deep short. Furcal has no play. It's an infield hit for Moustakas. Now the Royals have runners in the corners, and Mike Matheny will make a pitching change here. He wants a right-hander to face Billy Butler.
All right, jammed Moose a little bit on a up and in fastball, but Kyle says, you know what? We saved a run there. We got 2 outs. I'm not going to waste a throw to try maybe throw him away. So it's up to Billy Butler now.
The game-winning home run off Sanchez in the 15th. Royals won it 5-3 we'll see that pitcher Sanchez right now face Mr. Butler.
A fastball mid-90s and a slider. And Billy Butler, he's faced some of the best. Like you said, a week ago on Sunday, Mott, one of the best closers in baseball, tried to sneak a piece of cheese by him hard up in the zone, and he got him. So now we'll see if Billy can at least tie it up and maybe do more.
Billy twice robbed of a hit. Once he lined out to the second baseman in the first. Sent a fly ball down that right field line where Craig had to make a nice running catch near the line. So he is 0 for 3. Sanchez, a talented arm from Venezuela, 23 years of age. He gets a strike across. He can be a little bit wild. He has walked 10 and 13 and 2/3 innings, but also struck out 13.
Perfect spot on that first pitch. There's a slider. Good location.
Another perfectly located slider, and Butler down in the count 0-2.
Okay, you do it once, try it again. Identical pitches. Now Billy's going to have to be a little more aggressive on anything like that close.
Runner goes. The pitch is chopped towards third. Freeze up with it. Bare hands and throws. What a play by David Freeze.
He's really good on that play.
The City Cardinals on top of the Royals. Joel Goldberg back at Kauffman Stadium as Panera takes us around the league, and Minnesota wins one at Cincinnati behind the home run of Josh Willingham. Detroit gets a win for Justin Verlander. Complete game, 9 innings and 2 earned runs allowed. El Caballo, Carlos Lee with a pair of RBIs. 3-1 Houston on top of Cleveland, and Milwaukee and the White Sox right now scoreless on the south side in the ninth. Steve?
Thank you, Joel. Here is Tim Collins ready for his third inning of work. He came on to get the final out in the 6th, then gave up a run in the 7th. And now we'll start the 8th inning to face Yadier Molina and get him on one pitch to fly out to Jeff Francoeur. Earlier today, we asked the AT&T trivia question, who are the only 3 players to play in both the 1960 and 73 All-Star games in Kansas City? We gave you hints on the first 2. Hank Aaron and Willie Mays. Brooks Robinson was the third, who went to so many All-Star games as a representative of the Baltimore Orioles at third base. 1 pitch, 1 out. Batter is Matt Carpenter. Collins has not done his specialty yet, which is the strikeout. He leads all American League relievers with 51 strikeouts and is averaging 12.87 Ks per 9 innings, which is first among American League pitchers with at least 30 innings of work. One ball, 2 strikes. This homestand continues tomorrow night. We have 2 evening games tomorrow and Tuesday, and then a Wednesday afternoon game against the Rays. Archer will go on Tuesday. Alex Cobb against Luke Hochevar tomorrow. Archer against Chen on Tuesday. Moore against pitcher to be determined for Kansas City. Low pitch, foul back. Carpenter's old school will be part of the Big 12 conference this year. Texas Christian University coming aboard. Hit well, right center field, off the wall. Carpenter's not stopping at second. There's the throw. It is not in time. A triple with 1 out.
Man, he just missed trotting, touching all 4 bases. That ball hit high up on the right center field wall. Fastball that was inside, but Carpenter is able to keep it in the middle. Excuse me. He's able to keep it. Watch how close this was from going out. Ooh, man.
And Collins is usually really tough on left-handers. Had him down 1-2 in the count. Lefty's only batting .200.
And you know, with the heat today, it bounced off of that padding with a little extra bounce. And Dyson couldn't keep it in front of him.
Great block by Perez. Shane Robinson is the batter, and the Royals will bring their infield in. Moustakas at third base will stay a little close to Carpenter to make sure he shortens his lead. And Escobar and Falou on the edge of the grass. Butler in at first as well.
Robinson handles the bat pretty well. Looking down at Jose Oquendo, they're trying to at least make the Royals believe that there could be a squeeze on.
Good count for it. How about that? On 2-0, the Royals pitch out thinking that they might be squeezing. Now they will intentionally walk Robinson. This will allow the middle infield to back up a bit, where they can go for the double play with Daniel Descalso.
So Oquendo's going to talk to Descalso instead of passing any signs around. He's just going to go talk to him and tell him what he wants to do here. Multiple options here. Guy that can, slash. Hits the ball at all fields. He could bunt. It doesn't have to be a suicide squeeze. It could be like a safety squeeze. He can move the runner over. Try to get the run home too. There's a few different options here they could go with.
Rex, Tim Collins is more of a strikeout fly ball pitcher. Would he be inclined to go with more of his changeup even against a left-handed batter, because that is more likely to induce a double play?
Yeah, he's comfortable using that pitch on either batter. So it is a good pitch. He's staying right with him here and staying away from Descalso, trying to make him go to the opposite field.
For the strikeout here with 2 strikes, as he got the
good spot. Down away.
Descalso stays alive. The count remains 0-2. Cardinal offense has woken up in this series. They've scored 26 runs in 3 games. Royals have had tremendous comebacks today, twice trailing by as many as 3 runs. Base hit right field. A seeing eye base hit with 2 strikes on him. St. Louis goes in front 8-6. Advancing all the way to second is Descalso. And what a clutch base hit. All 9 Cardinals have been hot in this series.
Well, Collins hadn't had the luck today to get the strikeouts that he needed. That ball, like I said, the dangerous hitter like this can hit the ball anywhere. Descalso with 2 strikes on him, he just pulled it right in the hole. Frenchie tried to get the lead runner Robinson at third base, but in doing that, he allowed Descalso to get into second base and stay out of the double play. I mean, so they're going to intentionally walk for a call to get him to where they can possibly turn one here and get out of this. At least the Royals are in this game this late in the inning. Previous 2 days it wasn't happening.
When you're going good, those balls get between fielders. Descalso, emergency, just trying to get a piece of the bat, stay alive. If he hits that ball right at Falou, this inning is over. But it found right field, and the 8th run comes across for St. Louis. So Ned Yost will make a pitching change. He needs a right-hander. And he needs a big strikeout as Aaron Crow will come out of that bullpen. In the top of the 8th inning with the bases loaded, it's time for our AT&T Uverse Reverse Replay.
Freeze. He's done it with the bat today. Big RBI. And he's done it with the glove. Billy Butler, that last inning, his hand, bare hand, coming in, makes that play as good as anyone in the game. Stop the tie and run from coming across. Gets a little love from his manager. Way to play.
St. Louis has looked like a world championship team in this series, but we are not done yet as Aaron Crow comes out of that bullpen. And he will face a tough batter in Alan Craig. Chopper up the middle. Through. 2 more score. It's 10-6. An error by Dyson allows the runner to advance. Boy, they have had a lot of seeing eye base hits in this series. Wow.
Yep, first ball swinging. Top spin on it. Escobar, he tried to glove it, and he just misjudged the knocking it down. You wanted to try to knock that down any way you can, but couldn't do it.
John Jay is now at first base, pinch running. At Kauffman Stadium, they play this song about the 6th, 7th inning. I got friends in low places, and one of the lines is chase my blues away. I think you could change that line to chase my reds away. They want Cardinal red to head across the state. This team has been unbelievably hot in this series with now 29 runs in 3 games.
Yeah.
41 hits.
They're not going to send them across the state. They're going to send them all the way to South Florida to play in Miami.
Wherever. Wagons east, young men. Look what they have done today. 5 for 6 with runners in scoring position, and they came in hitting .500, and they're better than .500. They were 16 for 32 runners in scoring position the first 2 games of this series, and 5 for 6 today.
You know, they're starting to get their offense together.
Yeah.
The series started, they got healthy. John Jay came back. Matt Carpenter. And when you got the meat of your order delivering the goods like Beltran and this guy Holiday, it makes it tough when a team turns on offensively.
And they would be the first team to tell you, yeah, we got hot at the right time. We also got fortunate at the right time. To right field, Francoeur will make the catch. Runner tags, comes home. Here's the throw to the plate. Ball gets away from Perez. 11-6 St. Louis.
Well, the slide knocked the ball out of Salvador's glove. Frenchie, he had him. Good throw. Third base side, 1 hopper. See how he backs up into it. It's got a little momentum coming in. Good throw. Salvi just couldn't hang on. See, it was in the end. Now he has his hand there to hold it, but just tagging for call jarred it loose. If he'd have caught that ball in the pocket of the webbing there of his glove, probably would have held on.
St. Louis with 1 in the 7th to break the tie ball game, and then 4 in the 8th to bust it wide open. This should end it. A nightmarish 8th inning for Kansas City comes to an end as St. Louis now has an 11-6 lead. 5-run lead late in this game, going for the sweep. Shane Robinson moves from center field to right field.
All right, here's the play at the plate. He had him, but the ball just wouldn't stay in Salvi's hand. As it was just the tip of his glove, just couldn't hold on to it. That would have been Francoeur's 7th outfield assist had he held on. Okay, let's try it again. Third time we've seen it in Salvador, still couldn't hold on.
So he had 3 opportunities, is what
He
you're
did.
saying?
And you know, we really haven't seen Joe West signal him safe yet either.
Jeff Francoeur will lead things off in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Jeff 2 for 3 in this game with a home run and single. That is off the glove of the pitcher. He'll gather himself an underhand to first base, and Mitchell Boggs gets Francoeur at first.
Man, good play by Boggs. Frenchie would have had his 3rd knock.
The batter will be Brian Pena. First time as the team's designated hitter since 2010.
He's looking for his 3rd knock, too.
Exactly. The Royals have out-hit the Cardinals 11-8, but the Cardinals have outscored the Royals in the important run category 11-6. Kansas City has only left 4 runners on base, but the big challenge was how many walks the pitchers issued today. Sanchez walked 6. Collins walked 3. Particularly Tim's. Now 2 of them were intentional, but all 3 of his walks scored. Royals have played so well on the road this year, 20-16, and at home it has been very strange. If they lose this game, they will be 11-23 at Kauffman Stadium, and certainly they opened the year by losing their first 10 games, and that hurt. But they played better baseball on the road than they have at the K. They'll have to shore things up as they welcome Tampa Bay, a team with a winning record. They are 3rd in the American League East. Pena swings and misses and strikes out, so that's out number 2. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Kansas City Royals Baseball Corporation and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Royals. Salvi Perez up for his 4th at bat. He is 0 for 3, but does have an RBI now, 3 in 2 games. And he fouls that one back to the screen. Tampa Bay at 38-32 will be here tomorrow night. They're just 4 games out of first place in the American League East. The Yankees have been on fire of late. And there's a base hit up the middle. So Perez with a single. Royals have 12 hits. And the batter will be Gerard Dyson. Tampa Bay, a good ball club, and really the Royals could pattern themselves after the Rays because the Rays have gone after pitching. They had so many poor years, did the Rays, where they were able to draft good young pitchers, guys like Matt Moore and David Price, and now we're seeing their maturity They're coming of age, and the Rays have been to the playoffs so many times in recent years.
Yeah, you know, it'll be interesting to see how the day-night doubleheader up in Philly wears them down. What kind of shape they'll be in tomorrow.
Right now, the Royals have to take care of themselves and right the ship, and that really starts with Luke Hochevar. He has to put together a really good start because this Royals bullpen has been worn thin in this series. For call. It gets by the first baseman. Dyson is safe on an infield hit, and Perez will move from second to third on the error by Furcal.
Yep, that's what speed do right there. You put pressure on him. Look at earlier. This was back in the 4th inning. He hit a gapper and ran all the way to third base in 11 seconds with a little bit of slowdown right there, else his time might have been better. Well, that's still getting around them bases. He'll take that infield knock. Furcal just couldn't quite get the grip first time out of his glove, and that what got Dyson the hit.
Royals continue to pressure their opponents. Dyson goes, the pitch taken. They just give Gerard second base. Escobar doubled in his last at bat. Sends this one out of play. Count stays at 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Great play by the fan on the fly. Hey, you never know. You know, Escobar can knock in a couple runs here. 3 in the 9th, tie it up, hold him. Oh.
Nope. Not in this 8th inning. Royals leave 2 stranded. Cardinals hold their 5-run edge.
For the Royals, Joel Goldberg, Jeff Montgomery getting ready for Boulevard Royals Live out at Rivals coming up after the game. The offense finally able to break through. Most runs allowed on the year by Lance Lynn. But the story of the game, and Jeff Montgomery will break this down, walks. 7 of them allowed, doing a lot of damage. We'll also get you ready for tomorrow's matchup. First of 3 with the Rays, Alex Cobb, Luke Hochevar. That in reaction coming up after the game.
Thank you very much, Joel. 11-6, St. Louis has a lead over the Kansas City Royals, going for the sweep after KC took 2 of 3 in St. Louis last week at Busch Stadium. Swinging a ground ball third. Moustakas has it. Nice, perfect throw to Billy Butler, and David Freese is out number 1.
Moose showing off that strong arm. Got a good one.
St. Louis on fire coming into this. Actually, their bats were very quiet in Detroit, but catching fire in game 1. And talking to the guys in the clubhouse, they said this is the hottest they have been all year long, and certainly in the clutch. Rex, how about this? They are 21 for 39 with men in scoring position, .538 batting average in 3 games.
That's coming off of that Detroit series where they were only 2 for 23.
Exactly.
With runners in scoring position. So Big Mac Mark McGuire, he probably had a little talk with his hitters before this series, saying, come on, fellas, let's turn it up a little bit. There's Big Mac.
He certainly is responsible for one of the greatest moments in St. Louis Cardinal history. He set that home run record, blasting 70 in 1998. He was acquired at the July 31st trade deadline in 1997. Pretty special power hitter.
And their first baseman, Berkman, he's not even in the lineup. So you put that guy in that lineup with all these other guys, they're going to make another run.
Yeah.
Carpenter gets back healthy. Their rotation looks pretty good.
They have not suffered the seriousness of the injuries that Kansas City has, losing 2 starting pitchers for the season, Paulino and Duffy, and their closer Soria before the season even began. They also have 2 offensive players, Lorenzo Cain and Chris Getz, currently on the DL. Aaron Crow trying to go 1-2-3 as Carpenter takes outside. 3 balls, 1 strike. Carpenter has had a good game with a triple his last time up, and that started that 4-run 8th inning. Broken back ground ball for Lou. We head to the bottom of the 9th inning here in Kansas City. Royals need 5 to tie. Royals. Sam Freeman comes out of the bullpen to try and close things up. He has a 5.4 earned run average. His job, get the left-handers out, and that's why he will go up against Gordon and then take the switch hitter and turn him around, Falou, and bat from the right side. And Mike Moustakas will have an opportunity for a 3-home run game. So stay with us here in the 9th inning as Sam Freeman gets ready to deal. Gordon in this game is 2 for 4, a pair of singles his first 2 times up, then flied out and grounded out his last 2 at bats. So that average up to 264, slowly climbing. He's hitting over 350 his last couple of weeks of the season. Freeman, who spent a little time over at Kauffman Stadium when he played for the Kansas Jayhawks on their baseball team.
Good hard fastball. Good little slider as well. Gordon's got dirty today. Been active. Couple hits early, his first 2 times up.
2 balls and no strikes. 24-year-old was a 32nd round pick in 2008 out of KU. Gordon from Nebraska. $11 runs on 8 hits for the Cardinals. The Royals with 6 on 13. And Alex works the walk. That is the 8th walk he has received from St. Louis pitching this year. This will be the final interleague game of the year for both of these ball clubs, and the Royals were hoping to finish it up at 9-9 with a victory today, and it would have been the first time since 2008 that Kansas City finished at or above 500 in interleague play. A strike is thrown to Irving Falou, and Falou in this game 0 for 3 with a walk. He walked back in the first inning just before Mike Moustakas knocked one out. Looked at foul backing out of play.
Irving getting a start at second base today, providing a little bit more range out there. Too bad Chris Getz can't seem to stay healthy this year, because they're a much better defensive team with Getz out there in his range. Falou getting a chance to show what he's got. Has had a nice game defensively. Can play anywhere in the infield or some outfield. Tell you, games like this, you know, it's hot on the field, but it was much worse when there was artificial turf.
Falou pops it up on the infield. Furcal is there to make the catch. Yeah,
I remember
the temperature would be like 115, 120 degrees.
Oh, try 130 sometimes. It was, you know, you had to stand in ice, you know, in between innings, because your metal spikes would burn through the soles of your feet. You could get blisters. You know, it was not healthy playing in the Midwest on turf.
The Royal record for most home runs in a ball game by one player is 3, and it's been done 7 times. The first to do was John Mayberry at Texas back in 1975. The last to do was Danny Tartabull against Oakland, but others, Tony Salita did it, Mayberry did it again, George Brett did it twice, and Bo Jackson also did it in 1990. That ball is scalded foul left side. Mike Moustakas hitting 2 home runs in this game, one that went 442 feet. Look how far that one went. And then he did it again in the 4th inning.
Well, the Royals' bats, hasn't been anything wrong with their bats. Again, it was the more timely hits that the Cardinals got.
You're right.
13 hits for the Royals and 8 for the Redbirds today. And again, the Redbirds poured it on early. 3 runs in the first, 2 in the second. And so the Royals offense again for the 3rd game in a row having to play comeback and catch up.
So many times you talk about what went wrong. Well, in this series, it was really what went right for St. Louis. And just talking to the guys in their clubhouse, and they say, we're on fire right now. We're not only seeing the ball, squaring it up, but we're getting fortunate hits. Swing and a miss, and down goes Moose on a good breaking ball thrown by Sam Freeman. The batter will be Billy Butler, who 3 times has been robbed of a hit in this game. A line out back in the first, a long fly ball down the right field line that Craig ran down in the 6th inning, and then robbed of a hit in an outstanding play by David Freese in the 7th inning that would have scored the tying run. Threw out Billy by a half of a step. Two and one. The start of this game, our pitchers were Lance Lynn and Jonathan Sanchez. Each was knocked out after giving up 6 runs. Butler sends one high in the air and deep to center field, and that one's gone. Well, the Royal offense not done yet as Butler goes deep for the 14th time this season.
Fourth home run of the afternoon off a Royals bat. Now that's a positive. That's something we haven't seen here at home. But Billy, man, I'll tell you, good inside-out swing off Sam Freeman. That inside-out swing looked like it caught the fan right in the chin, as that ball wanted to take a drink in the fountain. But that's a good opposite field pop there. Good stroke, kept his hands inside. Billy uses the whole field. That's a beautiful swing.
11-8. Oh, yeah, he sure did. He got hit. And they're getting security to take care of that young man after.
Well, got to catch the ball out front. Got to get it out front so you can see it. Let the ball get back up underneath you. You never know. Could pop you in the chin. He'll be all right.
You've been protecting me for years, and foul ball struck back to the booth.
You got to know. And, you know, that fan, he's okay with that. Billy Butler hit him that ball, cut his chin. He says, you know what? I've been touched by Billy Butler.
Well, hopefully he still has the ball that was not grabbed by another fan.
He lost it.
Darn it. That's one you could take to work and show up and say, see these stitches? Billy Butler, baseball, I got it right here. That's where he hit me. These stitches in the ball gave me the stitches on my chin.
Nah, I don't know if we got any stitches on that.
Well, you never know.
No, you know.
Jeff Francoeur strikes out. The Cardinals get the sweep of this series over the Kansas City Royals, putting an exclamation point on Sunday with an 11-8 triumph. They are as hot as any team in the game. They scored 30 runs in 3 games against Kansas City pitching. Marte gets the win. The loss goes to Tim Collins.
Well, good news for the Royals is Cardinals are leaving town. The bad news for Miami Marlins is they're coming to Miami.
We'll be back to talk more about this one after this.